Williams is up for sale, the 2021 regulation is postponed, and Vettel off to Mercedes. And you can catch that all today in FastestBlackMan news. Now, I only heard about Williams being up for sale about like 9 o'clock this morning. I woke up and I checked out what was going on social media and Twitter and Insta and all that, and I saw that Williams was up for sale, and I was like, whoa. Was I expecting it? I mean, multiple people that I know said it's gonna happen. I'm not too sure what to say really. It was a bit of a shock to me, because obviously with everything that's going on at the moment, it's like the last thing I would expect for an F1 team to do really. But obviously actually I do expect it to happen, because they're not racing, and you know, F1 teams and the employees on the team pretty much make their money through the racing, through the team taking part in the races, and they earn money from the points they score and being at whatever track they're at and racing, because they're doing their job there. But they can't do that now because of what's going on at the moment, which also has a massive hit in the pocket of those smaller teams, because it means that they will struggle to survive, you know. But Williams, obviously, you think of Williams and you think that is a strong team, what are you on about? But obviously I'm talking about results of late. They have probably lost a lot of money, and they could be earning a lot more if they were still at the top, but they're not, which is the sad thing. The only reason why they are still earning money at the moment is through the status that they had at the, well, in the 80s, I must say, when, you know, the 80s and the 70s, when Alan Jones brought them their first title, to the Mansell era, to the active suspension of 1992, then Villeneuve in 97, the list goes on, and then they've just fallen apart ever since that. I mean, Williams right now are probably hoping that Lawrence Stroll comes in with that big money sell, that massive ton of money, but he's already put his money elsewhere, to obviously to Aston Martin, buying a stake in that. But for Williams, it's a massive shame to see that things have gone this far downhill. You know, I was thinking maybe they could survive it, but clearly not. And it is a shame to see them go. Obviously, we don't know what that means at the moment. It's not actually finalised, and they haven't actually said it's officially up for sale, but it's looking that way at the moment. You know, they said they've lost 13 million just from last season alone. 13 million. I'm not surprised they lost that much money, because it was dreadful. I mean, Kubica getting the only point in Germany, and that was, I hate to say it, but it was kind of through a lot of mistakes from other people, and the fact that people were crashing out, retirements. I think if not that many people retired that race, Kubica wouldn't have got that point, and Williams would have been pointless that season, which would have been even worse for the team. But you know, they got the 1 point, and Kubica was dropped next year. But yeah, that's the high of their 2019 season, the point in Germany, and that's pretty much it. So am I surprised that in 2020 they've come out, especially with what's going on at the moment, and saying that the team is, well, going to have to be put up for sale? I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to happen, but I'm not surprised that they've done it because of results of late. I mean, the last time I can probably say Williams have performed is in 2017. But what does this mean for F1? I mean, for F1, I think they're losing a big team. Kind of, as I said, that Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel are the faces of F1. Losing Williams from the grid, they sort of have their own image to F1. If you talk F1, if you're an older fan, one of the teams you're going to think of is Williams with their success. Only Ferrari and McLaren have more race wins than them. So it will be a shame to see them go, if they do go into 2021, sorry. Now, as we all know, this coronavirus pandemic is going on at the moment, and there's no football, there's no F1, no NBA, you know, you get what it is. Pretty much no sport. I mean, football's starting to come back. I mean, the Premier League, as I've made this video, is coming out. It's coming back on like the June the 13th or 17th. Football fans are going to kill me for forgetting that, but one of those days it's coming back. So yeah, we're going to get some Premier League football again. I mean, I'm not excited because of the team that Arsenal are playing, which is City away, and we're probably going to get hammered. But yeah, back onto F1. Obviously, the 2021 regs have been sort of postponed or dragged back to 2022. Am I disappointed with it? Yes, because I would have loved to have seen what the teams would have come up with. I mean, the cars, there they are, as you can see, they're absolutely astonishing. I could not wait to see what certain teams were going to produce, but we're not going to get to see that now, obviously due to this pandemic that's going on at the moment. But what does that mean for F1? I mean, it's probably a headache for some teams, but then kind of I think other teams are having a sigh of relief, because more teams have probably put a lot of effort into this year and not into their 2021 Challenger, whilst other teams have put more effort into the 2021 car. And obviously, I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, the pros are pretty much that teams have an extra year to make their car even better than it already is now. Any problems that are underlining that the teams can underline easily, they can correct them straight away. And well, I mean, I say straight away, it's not that straightforward to correct the problem and find out how you can sort it out, but you'll have longer to sort out the problem, the issue, solve the problem. But you know, the down points is to the teams that thought they were really coming onto something good. They're not going to be able to really see what the potential of their car is later on in 2020. But it doesn't matter. I mean, to me it doesn't matter. To some fans it will matter, but to me, I can wait another year. I mean, I'm really excited to see what the 2021 grid holds up and how the 2021 season goes. And I'm saying that we haven't even had the 2020 season yet, but personally for me, I'm not really looking forward to it too much, because we're not going to have a full calendar. We don't even know how many races the calendar is, to be honest with you. I mean, I know Silverstone is under threat. I believe that Hanoi is not hosting a race. I know that Netherlands have come out to say, you know, at Zandvoort, that they're not going to be hosting the Grand Prix there, so that's a shame. But there's not much you can do. These regs, I think a lot of people are looking forward to them. People were going to be excited to see what was going to happen. Also, I mean, for the drivers as well. I mean, Daniel Ricciardo making that move to Renault, hoping that maybe his patience would have been rewarded, but obviously this has messed things up for him, so he's now got to leave Renault and go to another team, which is probably a headache for him. But it's McLaren, so I wouldn't say it is much of a headache. But that all depends on whether the Mercedes power units they get in 2021, which I'm very sure will be good, but we don't know that for definite. Will the engine work with the McLaren's car? I think it will. I mean, they had Mercedes engines before, didn't go too badly, but this is a different car. But I think it's a better car, so I think the car will be very strong lineup. I've kind of gone off the regulations here, but you know, as I'm saying, they're bringing them. I mean, they're not bringing them in for next year, but as I said, for the drivers, they're going to be looking forward to driving the cars, and they're not going to have the chance. Also, obviously, they've put a budget cap on how much you can spend. I believe it's for this. They are doing it for this season and next year as well. I think it's more ties into 2021. Don't trust me on that, but I believe it is more into 2021. I believe it was about 170 million before. I think it's gone down to about 140. And I know that the lowest team gets to invest more money into their aerodynamic department of the car than the best team. So teams like Mercedes and Ferrari will not have much time on the aero department of their car, but teams like Williams or whatever they're going to be next season, if someone does buy them, will have more time on the aero department of their car than the same Mercedes. Will that make much of a difference? You never know. Every minute for trying to make changes on the car helps, and it might bring Williams a bit closer to the top. Who knows? We'll have to see in 2021. Sebastian Vettel may be going to Mercedes. Now this is something I wanted to talk about. I've mentioned Sebastian Vettel in my last installment of this series that I have started, and today I'm going to mention him again because I have read about things floating around that he might be going to Mercedes, and it's kind of 50-50 really at the moment. It's not a definite shoo-in, but it's not something that's not going to happen. It is being talked about quite a lot. Vettel hasn't come out to say no yet. Ferrari haven't said anything. Toto Wolff's been a bit instrumental in it as well. He said a couple of things about it. But do I think that Vettel will go there? Personally, I mean, I'm going to go through some of the bad things. That dressing room with Hamilton and Vettel, if something goes wrong involving both of them, that would be mayhem. And I can remember another dressing room with a fellow German driver that Lewis Hamilton used to share the Mercedes team with, and that was a quite heated battle as well. I made no sense there, but the battle between both of them, you know, it's Rosberg and Hamilton. Those two were at each other's heads. But would Vettel and Hamilton work? That's the question. Would the Vettel and Hamilton partnership work? I don't think there'd be any problem with it. They don't hate each other. There's a rivalry, but it's a friendly rivalry. I mean, don't think about Baku 2017. But the rivalry between them two, it's friendly. At the moment, they've got nothing to say about each other that's bad at the moment. There's no bad blood between both of them except from Baku 2017. Other than that, nothing bad between them both. But it'll be interesting to see. But if that does happen, what happens to Bottas? We don't know. Everyone's saying Renault. We don't know. Do I think this would work? I mean, obviously for the pros, it's a German driver in a German car. That will get the look in of many people. Many people will like that. A lot of people will like the fact that a German man is driving for the German manufacturer. Obviously, the people found Rosberg being a Mercedes very popular. Obviously, German driver in a German car. It's always, I don't know, people just like that. I don't know why. They like it when, when a person of the same nationality drives for the same nationality as the actual team. But obviously that's what Ferrari like that as well. Ferrari and other people that like to have an Italian driver in there, even though there hasn't been an Italian man in a Ferrari for a very long time. I cannot remember the last, but I mean it's definitely diving into the I'll probably say, to have a guess of the 80s or 90s, I'd probably say it's been about that long. But will Vettel go to Mercedes? Who knows at the moment? As I say, 50-50. It might happen, it might not. If he does, that would be an absolutely disgusting lineup of Hamilton and Vettel. It would be very good. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please follow me on Instagram. My Twitter will be there just about now. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.